Sure.
Okay.
What are some current school issues or problems we can help solve?
And this is geared to, I guess I have a question back to you. This is geared for your STEM project, right? I would assume. Okay. So, one thing that I always think about is ways for us to beautify our campus, maybe both inside and out, but especially with trees and flowers, maybe some picnic area, doing some cool things at the football field.
What are the biggest issues or problems in our local community?
Well, one thing I'm going to tell you about, there's getting ready to be a multi-million-dollar project right here on Main Street where they're going to be beautifying, and I believe, Connor, that it runs, if you don't know where First Baptist Church is, right across the street there is where H.G. Hills was and some other little stores right there on the other side of Rivergate Parkway, just right here on Main Street. And it goes all the way down Main Street.
Can you connect us with school partners?
Sure, absolutely. We have some great ones. Mr. Tim Ellis at City Hall, Miss Marilee Tice at the Chamber of Commerce. We are two that I think of, but we also have many friends at the police department and Chief Ken Reeves at the fire department. Those four come to mind really quick, that their offices are all right here on Main Street where that project's going to be taking place.
Next question. Are there any other agencies that we can work with to help solve any issues?
Mr. Lewis.
Sure. Again, Ms. Steele's got some good connections with a couple of banks here in Goodlettsville. Simmons Bank and First Bank are both good friends to our school. And then I think of places like Rivergate Mall, the manager at Rivergate Mall. He's brought a lot of backpacks and those kinds of things to you guys at the beginning of the year. So all of those are good community partners with us and are always looking at ways. And then on top of that, we also have the Goodlettsville Church across the street here, and then Well House Church, which meets here in our school every Sunday.
About that Rivergate Mall thing, my dad works there for security.
Well, very good.
Are there any issues in the school or community connected to the environmental or civil engineering?
Well, I would think, I would think somebody like Mr. Ellis at City Hall would be a great person for you guys to talk with to get those answers for those kinds of things. I'm sure with as big a project as we've got coming with the beautification of Main Street down through here, there will be a lot of things that could be worked on.
There's something out the door.
I know. Somebody else can look.
Okay. So, I think some of the issues that we have in the school are probably we do use a lot of paper, but I also think that what we have in the building we don't use well. So even the paper that's not getting thrown away, do we reuse the paper? Do we try and use somebody else's paper? Do I write 2 little sentences on it and I chuck it? So if you're just talking about paper, there's that. The big one is, I think that it's great that we have all these water bottle stations. Do you have a water bottle? Mm-hmm. See, I think that's part of the reason why we don't use the water bottle stations. So if we could find some way to get students to have reusable water bottles, well then we could use the stations. Because now everybody walks around with these plastic bottles all day, but then they throw them away. So we're contributing to all the plastic waste. But if we had a company that would donate, any companies out there, if you want to donate some water bottles, we need them, we'll take them. What other issues do I think we have? I think we started trying to talk about food waste in the cafeteria because I think there's a lot of food. Do you ever eat breakfast in the cafeteria? Ever? No? What? Oh. Maybe you're part of the problem. Because if we had more people that wanted to I think people go in and they get one item, but they have to get 3 items. but then they throw the other 2 away, so then that food's wasted. So Miss Littlejohn sent an email and she's like, hey, we should start a table for all the leftover food. Lunch is a little different because I don't want like your hamburger that's been on the tray. Like I don't want that because it's been on your tray. But if it's wrapped, you can do it. So I think that would be important. I think that's it. That's what I got.
So, next question. What are the biggest issues / problems in our local community?
So like Goodlettsville?
In our community.
I think we have a lot of people who still are without homes or like in place of different homes, like they don't stay in one spot long enough. So I think if you're talking about like a huge issue, I think consistent housing. Like I don't know if you have friends, like I know of people who are like adults who don't have like a place where they can stay, or they have a hard time paying their bills, or they have, you know, they've went from job to job and they've lost their job. So I think that that's something that the community can help with. I know that the Goodlettsville Help Center does a good job about like if you don't have money to pay for your bills, you can go talk to them and they will help you kind of get back on your feet. So I think that's one big issue that we have. I also think that we have, I'm always going to say recycling issue, because if you go out in the community, there's not a whole lot of like recycling bins. My wife wants to compost, which I think is kind of gross. She wants to start a compost in the backyard. It's so gross. It's so gross. But it's so good for the environment, but it's gross. Homeless, helping people. So I think that as a community, we should rally around the school. I think that would be great, because I think that there are so many small little businesses that we could kind of talk to in the community that would want to help the school out. So I think that would be good. Okay, I think that's what I got.
Okay, so next question. Can you connect us with school partners?
I'll hope. I'd like to try. Who you want to connect with?
Maybe Dollar General.
Yeah, I like that you said Dollar General first. What do you want to do with Dollar General? I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you want to talk to them about? Because you're on the camera too, not just me.
Maybe they could help us with supplies.
Okay, what kind of supplies you want?
Probably like for like the STEM Expo, when you start like getting supplies and stuff.
Okay.
I think it would be easier.
I got a lady who I bothered last year there. I can bother her again. Can I give her your email?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can. Alright, that's one I got. When you think about the STEM Expo too, we can always do, the Help Center would probably help. I don't know what your like STEM Expo project is, but when you do, Mr. Brooks will help there. School partners. The new Starbucks, I talked to them and they said that they would help when we have a plan. So we can go to them. I have his business card. So the new Starbucks, we can do that. All right, I got you. I got those two. What else you got for me?
Okay. So are there any other agencies that we can work with to help solve issues?
Agencies. I would think the Help Center again. I would think we get with the Help Center and Mr. Brooks. I think he could help with any issues. And when you guys come up with more, we can figure out. Like Tyson, the frozen food people, they're right down the road. Dollar General's still here. Kroger, we have a couple parents who work at Kroger, so they'll help. And I think a lot of my insurance guy, he wanted a project. It's not even my insurance company anymore, I switched. All right, I got him too. Worst man, I got it. We can get with him. So when you guys figure out your project, we'll hit some folks up. You want money? You want money for your project, or you want supplies?
Supplies.
Should have said money. We can do supplies. We can do money too. All right, I got you. What else we got?
I think that's all.
All right, whatever you need, we'll get it done. Do the best.
Thank you.
Goodbye.